Hello, beautiful souls. So today I'm going to share a journey that I had this morning with you. But first, go ahead and place your hands on your heart and allow yourself to be open and available for all that the universe has for you. So a little sweetgrass, because I think we all need a little sweetness right now. We are experiencing things and wanting things to be different. And yet, change is slow, or so we imagine. So I'm going to talk to you, before I talk to you about my journey, I'm going to talk to you about intuition and imagination. And we all had our intuition and our imagination hijacked from us when we were little, before we could stand up for ourselves. Hi, Meg. So what's happened is that we were told that our intuition was off, that we had to be analytical and think our way through things. And I don't know about you, but I am a feeler. I'm an experiential learner. I'm an experiential teacher. And I embrace things by doing. And the way to, hey Lorene, the way to great things is the way of doing. Be it, embrace it, feel it, and then take action. On account of manifestation is not magic. It's not magic, but it is magical. Manifestation is systematic, it's structured, it's organized, and it has a result. When you're not attached to the outcome, the result and what you're looking for sometimes don't match up. So I'm going to do a masterclass on the 15th of June of this month, and I'm going to talk about how to manifest. What is manifestation? How to create from your desires. So let's shake things up. Let's raise the vibe to love and above. And let's open our hearts. Let's open our hearts. The sweetgrass is still going. That's a beautiful sign. It's hard to keep going. So we have spiritual help today. We have sweetgrass, which grows out on the plains and is gathered by the indigenous people that live there. And they braid it into this. I love it because it looks like a smile. It is very difficult to get to burn, and yet today is the day that it's burning for us. It has continued to go. So, happy birthday, Meg! Congratulations, yes. So, hopefully you'll treat yourself to the masterclass that evening, so you can manifest even more than you already have. So imagination was hijacked away from us. We were told that we didn't have imaginary friends, that we couldn't do things. And after 65,000 no's by the time you're 5, finding your way to yes requires perseverance, tenacity, and endurance. Those things that I talked about yesterday, the elements, the attributes of the East, and how to use those in the next 2 weeks before summer solstice, when we turn to the south. So this morning in my journey, and I've been journeying with Jesus for a couple of years now. My guides change. Your guides change as you grow and develop. That's a new word. It's kind of like grow and evolve and change. So as you do that, your guides change. They come for different reasons. They come for different projects. They come to take you to the next level. So there's me and Jesus, and we are skydiving. My last few journeys have been skydiving, having a higher perspective. And what I was shown today was all these beings, and on their head were beanies, and they were all gray beanies, and on top of them, just like this, coming right out there, was a cord, and that cord went to the ancestors. So it went from each person here, each person that I saw, to their ancestor, to the way of the thinking of their ancestors, from one ancestor to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, all corded, all on this silver thread. And then as I looked deeper, there was a little drop coming out of the heart, way back in the ancestors. But just one drop, one little heart. And then as I went along the line of ancestors, beanie to cord, what I noticed was that the heart began to have more drops, more little hearts being released. And we're at a place now, this is what I was shown, that we can take off the beanies. We have been analytical. We have allowed science to tell us how to live our lives. And what we know is that that's not working. It hasn't worked, it isn't working, and it ain't gonna work. So here we are. And a card came as well. It's the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is the end of a karmic cycle. And it's the way that we're thinking. So a higher perspective, there I was, skydiving, looking down, seeing all these people with all these silver gray beanies and a cord attached to their ancestor, to their beanie, and on and on and on. The same stagnant thinking, the same way of going, oh no, it doesn't matter what you feel, it matters what you think. And we think we're going to mix up some chemicals and give them to you, and you're going to feel better. That doesn't work. What works is using your imagination, your powerful, powerful imagination. Everything that was ever created was first of all created in your imagination. This logo back here, first of all, came out of my imagination. Hey, Melissa. And into being concretized in Bali, because I imagined myself there. And in this journey, with us all being courted beanie to beanie, thanks for all that love, was passed down this ancestral way of thinking that we're beyond now. Look at it, how that love. Yes, because that's all we are. We're all love. So let's do some love. Let's not just think about it. Oh, I'm thinking about being loving. Yup. So how about if you grab your drum, if you grab your rattle, thank you for all of that love. Yes, because we're not going to think our way through our lives. I would have never thought this up, but it feels right. Thank you so much for all of that beautiful love right back at you. So, when you have a version of yourself that's distorted because someone gave it to you, this is you. This is what they said. This is how you are. You're a little boy, you do this. You're a little girl, you do this. This is the way it works. This is how we all got domesticated, in the words of Don Miguel Ruiz. So, it's time to get wild. It's time to be rowdy. It's time to speak up and stand up. And use your imagination and your creativity. You know, we don't need to turn this into a punching match. What we need to do, I don't know what we need to do, but what I am thinking about is turn it into a love fest. So, if you've been wanting some time away, what I'm doing this summer is I'm offering you to come and do a retreat by yourself if you want, but I can also help you facilitate it here, where we're going to use all that love and our imagination. Hey Verge, good to see you. So listen to this. If you have a distorted version of what life is about, that life is a struggle, no pain, no gain, and you've bought into that because some authority said so. Jane Fonda said no pain, no gain. I'm sure she regrets that now. But when you do that, when you give away your essence, your power to someone else and say, oh, this is the way I'm going to live because this is what the big guys say, then what you've done is you've got a distorted version, which gives you a distorted vision of what's possible here. So we go, oh, I can't do anything. Well, you know, every day, every weekday, probably every day, but every weekday I show up here. And I show up here because this is the highest version of myself, of my giving, of my imagination, of my intuition. This is my highest version right now. Today, guess what? This is it. Tomorrow, brand new slate. And that's what I love. Thank you for all that love. So, if you've got a distorted version, you're going to have a distorted vision. So yesterday I talked about that idea that if you don't, oh, look at all that love. Wow. So everyone just breathe all that love in, because it's not just for me. We're all just a reflection. Yes, the Wild Women Retreat. On the 24th to the 26th. So if you're ready to drum up some love, make your own drum to do it, and spend the weekend with me, then sign up quick. So, distorted version, distorted vision, which means that the outcome is also going to be distorted. So yesterday I talked about that idea that if you don't have what you desire, it's because you don't believe you can. Well, what if that's not true? What if it's not so much that you're not ready, but maybe the timing isn't right? Maybe it's not that you don't believe in yourself. Maybe it's not that you've said, oh, that's not for me. Maybe the timing isn't right yet. So think about switching that idea up. If I don't have something, it's not because I don't believe I can, it's because the timing isn't right. I like that a lot more because my life is working perfectly for me. Now, there's days I'm throwing myself on the floor and I'm going, what the fuck? But I also get up off the floor and I dust myself off and I go, okay, then, got that out of my body. Don't hold on to it. Shake it off, scream it out. You see animals doing this all the time. Oh, they just shake it off, shake it off. So, when things aren't working out the way you think they ought to, notice the thinking in there, then feel into what can I do differently? Not why is this happening? That why is going to take you down a rabbit hole that you don't need to go, and it's going to take way too long. So a better question than why did I do that is what can I do differently? And don't wait for next time. Start right away. All right. So it's the end of a karmic cycle. And look at all the swords. We have allowed ourselves to be hijacked of our imagination and our intuition. The old way of thinking isn't working. It ain't gonna work. So how about if we just take a moment and feel, how would I like to feel? What is going to make my heart sing? You know, you hear people say, oh, life is short. Well, damn straight. And if we try to think our way, well, couple try and think together, right? It's built for lack of success. So feel your way. Does this feel right to you? Does it smell right? Does it sound right? Does it look right? Does it taste right? All right. So all of those chords from those beanies, what we get to do is we get to turn and we get to look at, and people call it stinking thinking. I think that's disrespectful. Everybody that gives us information, for the most part, gives us information because they have an agenda. Some people want you to buy their stuff, like the Wild Retreat. And some people want to raise the vibe, like me. There's no either or in that. So when we come to stop judging ourselves, we're not bad if we stand up for ourselves. And we're not effing bitches if we say what's on our mind. But notice that you'll get called that. So I embrace that. I just even say thank you. So let go of the ancestral thinking. Let go of the way that things have been. Open your heart. Be guided always by your heart. And raise the vibe to love and above. All right, here we go. So, manifestation isn't magic. It's methodology. And in 1993, in the midst of a crazy hot market, I made a decision. I decided that I was going to buy a house, my very first house that I bought all by myself, that I was going to buy a house, that there was going to be no down payment. There was going to be no closing costs. And my coworkers were like, oh, no way, you can't do that. Everyone has blah, blah, blah. So none of that. What happened was that it was a couple, and as the sellers and me as the buyers. And so it needed a new roof. So I said, well, there's two of you and one of me, so I'll pay a third. And they said yes. And there was no down payment. There was no closing cost. There was none of that. And you know what? It took me 5 months. Every day. Now let me tell you another crazy story. It's 1991 and I need a home because my daughter's coming to live with me. She was in Calgary, Alberta, Canada with her dad. She's coming to Seattle. And I needed somewhere. Oh, thank you for all that love. I needed somewhere. So I put out that I wanted 3 bedrooms, a fireplace, a view of the water, somewhere I could garden. What else? I think that was it. Oh, and $500. So everyone is, yeah, right, okay, whatever. And on my steering wheel, on my bathroom mirror, on my bulletin board thing at work, all over the place, I posted this before posting was even a thing. And I told my coworkers, and they were like, and this, I started this in February. And I just kept talking about this great house I was going to have, 3 bedrooms, fireplace, view of the water, place to garden, deck. And then it was my birthday, June 29th, and they were taking me out for lunch. They were nice like that. And they said to me, Sheila, there's a place in Bellevue. One of the women in the adoption part of Catholic Community Services where I was working, her house above her, the place above her is becoming empty. And I was like, ooh, Bellevue, can I do Bellevue? Turns out it was in Kirkland, and one of my aunties lives in Kirkland, so I could do that. So sure enough, I go, I look, oh my God, it's amazing. And big windows, I love my big windows. And it was really similar to the house I had in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So when my daughter came, there was a similarity there. That place was $500 a month. That took me 8 months. But you know what? It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter when it happens. It only matters that it happens. If you've been around, you've heard me say that. So 8 months to manifest a beautiful home for me and my kid at a very reasonable amount, which was good because at that agency, we always got the low-fat raise, which was 2%, because agencies, for some reason, back then, I don't know what they're doing now, but they weren't very good payers. But they were great because they paid for my education. I learned hypnotherapy there. I actually studied shamanism and Wicca while I was working in that agency. So it worked out very well for me. And manifestation isn't magic, it's method. It's mindset. So join me next week for the masterclass, and I'll teach you about manifesting like a maniac. All right, let's bring it home. Practice. All right, so since we've been doing this, which is 2¼ years, coming on 2¼ years now, I have mastered learning to drum with both hands. And I'm not as proficient with the bringing it home on the left as I am the right, because what do we tend to do? We tend to do what we're comfortable with. And at this moment in time, there's a lot of discomfort. So let's set our intention. Let's set our intention to learn about manifesting, to actually be able to know that you create your life. Hey, Tara, that you create everything. I created this. It started in my imagination. My intuition guided me to Bali, where I had them design this for me. So follow your intuition. If you begin to think too much, stop, put your hands on your heart. Okay, and let's just do that now. And get in touch with what makes your heart sing. Tara, thank you so much. And if any of you are local, or if you're not local, if you want to be on the Wolf Abundance ceremony that's happening on the 18th, I'm hosting it here live in person with hugs available. And if you're not, I'm going to do it on Zoom as well. So if you want to participate in that, it's going to be 8 p.m. on June the 18th. And so just drop a note there. If you want to come live in person, put a note down there and I'll send you an invitation. In the meanwhile, let's give away some love so we can get some. Zoom link. Yes, ma'am. There you go. Way to go, Melissa. Okay. So energize your hands. Place your hands on your heart. Take a nice deep breath. Feel this body. It's such a gift. Although mine was grouchy yesterday after all that gardening, but I soaked in Epsom salts this morning. I feel fantastic. All right, let's open freely to give, accept, and embrace all that the universe has for you. One more time, I open freely to give. Give it away, give it away, give it away. Accept big bowls with your hands and embrace, put it in your heart. All right, one last time. I open freely to give, accept, and embrace all that the universe has for me. Namaste, aho, bliss. And in case no one has told you so far today, you are amazing. Thank you for being here. My heart is just happy as hell. All right, everyone, have a fabulous day. Let me know if you want the links. I see some people do. I appreciate that. And I'll be in touch. Mwah. Hey, Gretchen. Oh, yes. Awesome. Bring friends.